Hey guys, welcome to episode 14. I'm so excited to be bringing another X Factor episode to you guys. And today's episode is actually going to be very spicy. It's while the people would want to say it's a controversial topic in some circles. So definitely look forward to hearing what our guests here have to say and what I have to say. And as you guys know, some of these episodes, I really don't even know what people are going to say before we have the conversation. So that makes it fun for us in here. So, Nish, how are you?
Hey, Michelle, I'm doing good. It's been a while since we last spoke. And, thanks for having me here on your podcast. I'm really excited to be here.
I'm so excited to have you here. Thank you for coming. Kudzai, what's going on, girl?
Nothing. I'm very excited to be here. It has not been a while, but since we last spoke. But I'm glad to finally be on the podcast. So yes.
Yes, and I'm glad to finally have you both here. It's going to be a really, really fun topic. So now to let you guys know what we're going to be talking about, we are going to be talking about the whole thing about dating a friend's ex and also dating an ex's friend. Okay, so those are two very different things. So one of them is I have a friend, my friend breaks up with their boyfriend, and then I start dating my friend's boyfriend. And the other one is I have a boyfriend, my boyfriend and I break up, and then I start dating my ex-boyfriend's friend. So those are two very different things. So yeah, this is going to be a really fun topic, guys. And so I'm going to kick it off to our guests here, starting with Nish. Nish, is it okay for somebody to date their friend's ex?
Okay, so I'll preface this by saying I don't have a definite answer because I think it's situational.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say that it starts with why. Why, of all the people that are out there, why do they want
Yes.
Oh, but it kind of works both ways because if it's just something like a hookup, that's a no. But if it's something more, if there's something deeper, if there's some legit reason behind it, I don't know, it's situational.
Okay, situational. So I'm getting the sense that Nish, you're saying it depends, right? Is that a good summary? Cool
Yep.
beans. Kudzai, thoughts there. Is it okay for somebody to date their friend's ex?
Well, when I first thought about this, I was like, hell no. Then I really thought about it and I was like, I kind of feel like as we grow older, things are less black and white.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's just this gray that you can work with. Like, why did they break up? Is it because your friend is trifling? Is it because he was trifling? If he was the one who was trifling, then why are you wanting heartbreak like this? Like, what? Now I'm looking at you like, girl, out of everyone, like Nish said, was this the only person? But then if you in your right mind know, okay, my friend really is trifling and he was great, and they broke up a while ago, I
Then
feel
maybe.
like, if the connection, if the vibe is vibing, why not?
All right, man. Okay, so both of you are giving me very non-committal answers. There is no yes or no here. There is a maybe. So I'm gonna come in hot, guys. I'm gonna come in hot, and I'm gonna say it is a no for me.
Oh,
It is a
Mm.
no, and the reason why I'm saying this is because. And it's so funny because like when Nish started explaining his answer, you guys heard me cheering. The moment he was like, why of all the people? I was like, yes, why of all the people in the world? This is how I think about it. Okay. Assuming, and also my answer, I'm gonna preface it by saying this is assuming that like this is a recent ex to your friend, and this is someone who you're still friends with. Like you're actually like really good friends with somebody, and it's a recent ex, right? So to me, the way I look at it is, man, like, have all the men in the world, like, have we run out of men for you to be like, the one that my friends had a thing with or like a relationship with and who they've broken up with is now the one that I want? And I think also, for me, it also doesn't even matter like who broke it off, like whether it was your friend or it was like their ex, right? Or yeah, the person they were with who broke things off. Because to me, it's still the same thing where like ultimately you're the one who's friends with this person and now you're going to date like their ex. I will say again, like I said, my answer was based on the assumption that this is like a friend who you're actually really good friends with, and it's like somewhat of a recent ex. So maybe let me put a time frame to it. Okay, recent meaning, let's say we're adults, we're in our late 20s, and this is somebody who this person dated after maybe at the age of 25. So anytime from the time that they were 25 and you guys were adults. And let's say even the relationship was like 3 years long or something like that, right? Like
Oh,
this is somewhat
wow.
of a relationship that happened in adulthood, then it's a no. I will say,
Mm.
you know, where I agree with you guys for me would be if, let's say, you know, I've been friends with someone since childhood, right? And when we were kids, like maybe they dated when we were 13 years old, right? And now we're like 28 years old. It's like 15 years later. And like that was puppy love. That was really nothing, right? Then at this point, like we are now adults, and this was like more of a like a teen slash like we were still babies, like puppy love. Then yeah, of course. I mean, by no means, I don't think that there's a problem with dating that kind of ex, you know. So I don't know, guys. Any comments, thoughts, concerns?
Mm.
Hmm.
Um. So I think okay. So let me ask you a question. A rhetorical question.
Mm-hmm.
That ex that you broke up with,
Mm-hmm.
whoever, right? Hypothetically, they're gonna be dating someone, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're unhappy with your friend dating your ex,
Mm-hmm.
um, but then you know that if it's not your friend, it's gonna be someone else eventually. What's kind of like the main reason why it being your friend is a big deal because
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
and also if you're over your ex, how I feel about it is that it wasn't for you, but maybe your friend and that ex, things could maybe things just click differently and it works out for them.
That's a really good question. So the way I think about it is, yes, you know, like you said, when relationships end, people are free to move on. I think the biggest issue for me is like the way I look at it, right? Between this ex of mine and the friend of mine, the person who actually owes me something is my friend. So you know how relationships are, right? Like
Mm,
let's say I'm in a relationship with this person, and like obviously while I'm in a relationship with this person, like my friends have met him, and you know, let's say whenever we did have like arguments or like fights, I was close enough to this friend that I told them about what I was going through, right?
Yeah.
For
mm,
them, like and you know, breakups, here's the thing, right? Breakups, whether you're the one who breaks up with somebody or somebody breaks up with you, breakups hurt either way. I feel like at some point there might still be a, yeah, of course, like it's over, but there might still be a piece of you that stays with that person. And so for somebody who actually called themselves my friend to then go to that place of hurt for me and start something, that's just like, oh, the disrespect is very high at that point. Like I get it, right? My ex is free to move on with whoever he wants to move on with. But with one of my friends, like, because what it brings into question for me is, okay, now you as my friend are dating my ex. So while I was with my ex, what was going on between the two of
True.
you? What
True.
has
Or what
made
were
you
you
mm,
thinking the
feel,
whole time? Yeah.
yes, what were you thinking the whole time when you were giving me advice about what I was going
Mm,
through? What were you
yeah.
like, what was your motive behind that, right? So it calls a lot of things into question. It even calls the future into question, because I'm like, if you're capable of going to someone who you knew I had something so deep with and being in a relationship with that person, how can I trust you in the future when I'm now with somebody else that you're not checking for them? You know what I
Oh,
mean? So I feel like
mm,
it
right.
crosses so many boundaries on the friendship aspect. I'm not really concerned about the ex part of it. I'm more concerned with like the friend part of it. You know, and to I'm gonna
Right.
be completely like open with you guys and say, like, you know, if something like that was to happen with a friend of mine, to be honest, like the friendship is not gonna be the same. I just like, just because I have been in relationships, you know, like in the past where like, you know, I am the one who broke things off, or like the other way, the other person broke things off, and it doesn't matter to me
Mm.
regardless of which situation it was, if someone who is actually a true friend of mine went and dated those people, yeah, we have a big problem. We really do on the friend aspect. Kudzai, let's hear what your thoughts are on
Well,
this.
I'm thinking, if you're thinking, like, say how it is in some places, I think of like back home where social circles are really, really small. And
Mhm.
so by virtue of that, you're like, okay, if there is someone who you're looking to and is actually like, I'm ripe and ready, they're ripe and ready.
Right and
What do you
ready.
do in a situation like that where your options are already slim to none? It almost
Mhm.
feels like it's just gonna be a little game of recycling amongst all of you. And I kind of feel like in smaller circles, people can just get mad, offended. Like I know of some people right now who dated people in high school who, if you started checking for that their ex, they would already start coming to you being like, "Excuse me, how dare you? You know we had."
Oh wow.
Whereas
No.
I'm like, if that's what you want to do, I'm looking at you like, man, I feel like you deserve better. But if you want to go do that, cool. That's
But
not my
Kudzai,
industry.
would
But
your friendship still be the same with this person? If your friend went and dated a more recent ex. So like I said,
oh
I'm painting the picture of like adulthood. So after the age of say 24, 25,
hell
right?
no, no,
Right.
it would not.
So and what's
Um,
the issue there? That's what I want to hear.
I I always find that like with a breakup, it depends what it was like for me
Hmm.
and for the person and what kind of relationship I still have with them to this day. There's some that like you defy odds and you're the most amicable exes. But even within that, oh, we're so amicable, there's kind of this unwritten rule with everyone, like, but we all know that you can't touch that person.
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
And I kind of feel like I've never had to say it, but people know.
Yeah, exactly. I really like what you said. It's that whole thing where for me, even with anyone who my friends are with right now or like who they've been with, my friends didn't have to tell me that Michelle never dates an ex of mine or never be talking to my boyfriend and something. I just know that this is marked territory. And yes, the relationship has ended. But ultimately, like I said, I was there when my friend was going through stuff with this person. And for me to then date that person, I just feel like it's violating some sort of code. I don't know if it's like a girl code or what.
What would you
But
do in a situation where you're friends with both of them, though? So you will
oh
actually,
yeah. That's a really good one because I think it also ties to like your initial part because like where you were talking about sometimes the circles are really small. And so if it was a situation where it's like a group of friends, right? Let's say it's a group of like four girls and four guys, and you guys are just like really close friends of eight, right?
Mhm.
Then I think it's like, prior to me being in a relationship with this person, I was already in a friend group with the person before they were my boyfriend. And during the relationship, we were still part of this friend group. After the breakup, if we're still both part of this friend group, then I feel like I don't see a problem with one of those other three people in the circle dating this person just because of the situation where we were all friends to start off with. Then we decided to date, then we broke up, and then other people decided to date. So I think sometimes in friend circles, then I mean, yeah, I
Yeah.
wouldn't really have an issue with that. I think I have a really big issue if the only connection that my now ex and my friend have is me. Like I'm the one
Yeah.
who brought these people together or to even know each other. Then I have an issue with that, right? But if it's a friend group, I mean, it's fair game.
Yeah.
Nish, thoughts on that?
Yeah, so here's a question, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
what if, you said the only way that they would know your ex is because you brought them together. But what
Mm-hmm.
if, like, you know, you had a friend group, you have a
Mm-hmm.
friend group of, say, five girls, and then, everyone's boyfriend becomes part of that friend group for a certain amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, then within this friend group, there's someone who's single, and then, they get to know your boyfriend through the friend group. So, they are friends, and during the length of your relationship, there's no foul play, right? There wasn't any feelings that they acted upon. They didn't, because at least I would like to think that the friends that I really seek advice of, let's say I were to open up about my relationship to, I would like to think that they, even if they did like, or they did have a crush on like my girlfriend at that time, right? They wouldn't let that taint the advice that they give. Because if they were giving advice like with malicious intent, then I think it's kind of on me, like, did I make the right choice in confiding to this person?
Interesting.
Yeah.
In a situation like that, are you looking more to that friend like, actually, maybe I didn't make the right decision being friends with you if this is your character? Actually, in a situation
Mm-hmm.
like this, it seems like we're focusing a lot on like the friend.
Yes.
Like the friend is terrible. Is it because this person is an ex that you've just completely we're disregarding them and we're being like, yeah, you don't matter. It's the friend who matters in this.
In my case, and Nish, you could be different. How I'm looking at it is, if a relationship I had with my ex or with the person I was with came to an end, that ex doesn't owe me anything, right? But this what I'm saying here, which is like, my friend now dating my ex, it extends to even family members. Like my cousin should not date my ex. So it's more of like the people who were my people, like my friends, my cousins, my relatives, right? Like when they take it upon themselves to be wooed by my ex and they end up together with this person, it sends me a message. Like it doesn't sit well with me. So I don't have any expectations of what he does, but I have expectations. And like you said, Kudzai, these expectations are unspoken, where like I just expect my friends to respect me. And going to what Nish said, I think something that you brought up was, while you were together with this person, you would like to think that when you're going to your friends, there was no foul play or no malicious thing, or they weren't doing anything in the background. My thing is, if after I break up with someone, 3 months later, my friend is now with them, I mean, like I can't prove, right? Like I think for me, it's a character issue, right? Because like I can't prove that nothing happened while we were together. I don't know when you guys started talking, but even if nothing happened while I was with this person, the fact that like you saw me crying over this person and you knew how much I loved this person, for you to then go and be with that person, I just, wow.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I just have a sort of follow-up question slash thought to that. I think Nish brought this up earlier, where he asked like, okay, so then how is that different? Say that, okay, your ex is now dating one of your friends 2-3 months after you broke up. How is that different from your ex dating someone else? Is it is the element of your ex moving on okay with you, or it's the person who your ex moves on with that's the issue?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's what I would say. I would say, like, obviously life moves on. I have no problem after a relationship has broken off, with my ex ending up with somebody else who was not in my circle like that. Like if he ends up with someone who he was friends with, that's his business, right? But him ending up with someone who was my friend, and the only way that they even know each other with this friend of mine was through me, that's the issue. It's like when you move on, but you're moving on with someone who you're with me. But again, in this situation, guys, like I said, I feel like the reason why I'm saying I don't expect anything from my ex, like I feel like my ex wouldn't owe me anything, is because I think it depends on how the relationship ends, right? Like if like it ended in a way that it left my ex very salty and very mad, then why can I expect him to owe me something? You know what I mean?
Interesting. Okay.
But if my ex broke up with me, though, I'm thinking about it now. Like if my ex is a person who broke up with me and then they then went and like dated my friend, oh, that inflicts another wound. It's like, man, like how many wrongs can you do me? You know what I mean?
Seriously, like you're just trying to tick all the boxes on that one.
But there's another way of looking at it, right? Because if this is a friend that you care about a lot, right? She was the one that she or he, you confided in, about your relationship and blah blah. So that means that you obviously care for this person a lot, right?
Yes.
And if they were to go and date anyone in general, it means that they're currently single and they're still looking for something that they never got so far, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
the reason someone is single is, okay, I think it boils down to two reasons. Either you're not dating, or you're dating and you're not finding the, whatever that you're looking for. You haven't found it yet.
Yeah.
But in that process of your friend and your ex getting to know each other, maybe they found out that, hey, they have a lot of like similarities. She or he started seeing something in this ex of yours that they haven't found in anyone else. And they
Too
come to
fast.
you. I mean, communication needs to be there for sure. And I think that if this friend is so close, like is of that level of closeness, they should and most probably would have some sort of communication with you. And they need to know that, okay, it's not, they don't do something like this when you're still hurting, because that would be kind of messed up, right? Like, you're still not over that ex, and they're just like posting pictures on Instagram, right? The two of them making out and stuff. Who wants to see that? But if you've kind of gotten over the breakup, and then your friend comes to you and they're like, hey, Michelle, I know this is a touchy subject, but I'm thinking of dating blah blah blah, because I think that I want to see where this goes, because I feel that this person. So that kind of is that other side of it. And if you're a true friend to this person, shouldn't you be happy that they have this chance now, maybe, to...
Absolutely not.
No.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Nah, guys, in this episode, you guys are gonna really know my inner thoughts. Okay. Here's the thing.
Okay.
I like how
I can feel the rage.
I am so mad. I feel like, oh my God, I'm so mad. Obviously not at you guys, but just thinking about it, I'm like, oh my gosh. Here's the thing, Nish. I like how you were using the phrase true friends. You were saying, if I was truly this other person's friend, would I truly not want them to be happy? Let's flip the switch. If this person was truly my friend,
That's
and
right.
they know what I went through, Nish, I mean, hey, who's the fake friend between the two of us, right? And I mean, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, that, when these things happen, communication needs to be had. That's true. Fair and fine. I mean, let's say my friend comes to me and tells me, hey, me and your ex, we want to hit it off. I mean, to be honest, you're also just putting me in a fake position. My question is, are you asking me for permission? Are you just informing me? Either way, however, whatever angle I look at it from, you coming to tell me or to ask me for permission, like, I'm just going to be like, you know what, do what you guys want to do. But rest assured, guys, that friendship from that day on is not going to be the same. I just can't. I can't trust you from that point, So yeah, I mean, that's my thought on this one. Well, now question, Nish, would you date your friend's ex? Let's talk about that. And then tell us like a little bit about guy code. Is there like a guy code about these things, or like guys just really don't care?
Oh, guys care. Guys absolutely care. Yeah, so okay, I'll start with the bro code. I mean, I think this word gets thrown around a lot, and I think a lot of guys saying this may not actually understand the true meaning of bro code. They say like, oh, bros before girls and stuff. I didn't say it, you did.
Look at this being respectful.
But I think it's often misconstrued, right? Because they think that, ultimately it's always your bro above everything else. But bro code is about looking out for your bro. You don't do him dirty and stuff. So don't do him dirty. I mean, for sure, have a conversation with him. And I think that with a lot of things in life, if you can explain your case, if it's a hookup, if you're like, oh man, she's really hot, I just really want to spend a night with her. No, that's messed up. And I don't
Why though, Nish? Why is it different if it's just a hookup versus a whole relationship?
Well, my perspective at least is that if it's a hookup, it's a pure attraction thing. And it's kind of uneasy to think about like, oh, if I was with this person for like a year or whatever, even 6 months, 2 years, whatever, this person was physically attracted to my girlfriend to the point that he wanted to sleep with her, right? And then the moment I'm done, he's like, hey, I have no intentions of being in a relationship with this girl. I'm just purely attracted to her. I just want to, hit it and quit it, right? And that's kind of messed up because I would start questioning my friendship with the person. But if it's a relationship.
But Nish, but in a relationship, right? If your friend was gonna, like you said, hit it, in a relationship, they would still be hitting it. It's still, either way, the fact that they're even considering a relationship, it means not only did your friend find your ex attractive, it also means that there was even more to it. But the physical attraction is also there. So in both cases, there's physical attraction. It's just that in one, he's just like, I'm just going to have fun. And then another, it's like, I was physically attracted to her, but I want to have more. I want her to be the mother of my children.
Oh, snap. She bad. Okay.
But I think it's different though, because, at least my perspective, like I said, if it's more, because a relationship isn't just about the physical, the sex and everything, right? There's a lot more to a relationship. So if this person really says like, hey, I think this person is someone that I've been looking for someone like this my whole life, and I've never met them because of blah, 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 and
I've never met them because you were with them. How about that?
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow.
Maybe. I mean, I think that's fair, but if it didn't work out between me and my ex or my girlfriend, right? Mm-hmm. It didn't work out. It means that for whatever reason, whether I'm the dumper or the dumpy, there was something that was something that was lacking. And that's not part of my life anymore. It was a part of my past. Mm-hmm. And now I'm looking for something that is more compatible for me. So this person, if they're my friend and they think that they can make they can have better compatibility with this ex than I ever had, by all means, man, hey, go ahead.
I see. So Nish, I think the way you're like kind of explaining the bro code is, you're saying the bro code does not actually say does not prohibit anyone from being in a relationship with their bro's ex, but it's about you caring enough for your bro that even after you've come out of a relationship, if your bro sees something deeper with your ex, like, you should allow it, right?
That's what I feel, at least. I don't think I don't think everyone would agree, but yeah.
Gotcha. Oh, Kudzai, is there girl code on this? And actually, no. Actually, wait, Kudzai, pause. Nish, you didn't answer the question though. Would you date your friend's ex?
Oh.
Yeah, if I could make the case to my friend, I think communication is everything. And if it didn't work out between my friend and his ex, and he says he's over her, maybe he's even started dating someone else. Mm-hmm. I don't see any downside in doing that. I don't know how my friend would feel, but in this hypothetical situation, I think I would.
Okay, cool. Kudzai, let's hear from you.
I think there is absolutely a girl code with this. And it's one of those things where I don't feel like girls have to openly talk about it, but it's just one of those things where it is unwritten, it's unsaid. It's like the mob, okay? You don't have to say it for you to know it. Like, just don't look to the side, look to the left, look to the right, okay? Just don't look forward, okay? Because forward is where my man is. And that's the thing. I actually even feel like it's one of those things where even after you break up, there's still that thing where they don't stop being connected to you in some way. Mm-hmm. And so because of that, it's just one of those things where it's just known. Like, don't think about doing it. And especially, I feel like the older we get, maybe because I almost feel like at this stage, once we left college, I felt like people started taking relationships so much more seriously. Mm-hmm. And so people weren't kind of just dating to casually date. Right. Not to say that they were like, we want to get married tomorrow, but maybe you were dating with that idea of like, hey, maybe this person and I, we might date for a couple of years and then get married. So you weren't just dating someone just because you were bored. Like, there was an element of like, I'm being intentional about this person. Mm-hmm. And so with someone you've been super intentional with, and then like it's ended, which typically in a situation like this, it's most likely ending because you both are realizing that maybe we don't see each other together in the long run. Mm-hmm. Let's not even go there. I'm kind of one of those people where I even sometimes have issues with my exes moving on with people I don't know.
Because I love the honesty. I love
If
it.
I know you, I know where your birth certificate is located. Nah, nah, nah. We're not doing any of that whatsoever. I wish you the best. I genuinely feel like in a world that has more than 8 billion people, you can
Hmm.
absolutely find someone that does not
Yes,
be associated with me.
girl, standing ovation. Woo! I love that. I love
Uh,
that.
I have a question for Kudzai. So if you said that it may not necessarily have to be a friend of yours that your ex is dating, but even if your ex in general was dating someone else, you may not be too happy with that. But question is, are you really over that person if you still feel that way?
Oh, that's a great question.
Yeah, I love the question for sure. Hmm.
I think that's one of those things where, like Michelle once brought up, you've got to realize, like, regardless of who broke up with who, it
Hmm.
could still be one of those things where the wounds are really strong. I know I've
Yeah.
had situations in my past where, like, super long term relationship, the breakup happened, and I was like, okay, it's time to play rude boy at the club every weekend, and let's go get it. And like that's one of those things where, like, I would be like Mazel Tov if he started dating someone else. I'd be like, good for him. That's right.
Mm.
Go do you. And then there's some people where it's like one of those things where it's like, well, dang. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of feel like there was a phase in my life where I was a little less passionate about this, and more so probably because it was a time where like the circles were super small. I already liked this person, and then someone else started dating them, and it was just kind of one of
Oh,
those things
I
where
see
it's
that.
like,
Yeah.
oh dang, if that's what we're gonna be doing. And then it was one of those things where it was like interchangeable basketball team of like, let's just get some subs, and it was just a line of people. Um, Unfortunately, or rather fortunately, I never really entered this line. But in any case, I think that was after some time, I was like, well, I don't really care about that. But I felt like as I started growing older and relationships started becoming more serious, no, don't touch my
Mhm.
exes.
Yeah. I mean,
Maybe once I jump the broom with someone else, then like you could think about that potentially.
yeah. I mean,
Mm.
I agree with Kudzai. And to answer your question, Nish, right, about like, oh, um, if if you're not even gonna be happy to see your ex move on to somebody else, then are you over it? I don't know about you guys, but like the truth of the matter is, okay, when a breakup happens, and again, people take different, I guess, periods of time to like get
Mhm.
over things, right? Some people, they're over it in a month, some people 3 months, some people 1 year. And again, it also, even from person to person, from relationship to relationship, there's one relationship that can take you 1 year to get over, and one relationship that can take you 3 months to get over, right? So
Mhm.
the thing is, when you've been in love with somebody and the thing ends, sometimes you could still have lingering love for this person. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's why
Mhm.
it still hurts. That's why, personally, for me, like, I don't want to see like my ex moving on. Like I actually, like, by I don't want to see him moving on, I mean, I don't want to see the pictures of him being with another girl. I don't want to see videos of him being with another girl, right? So I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, if you're gonna move on, just move on. But I don't want to be any part of that. I don't want to have a front row seats into this movie of your life, right?
Yeah.
Now imagine this movie is coming to my house. Like, this is
Right.
happening with my
Okay.
friends, with my
Okay.
friends. You know what I mean? Like, that's
Nope.
no, 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 no. That's why for me it's just like, no, 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 we're crossing a lot of lines. But let's talk more about this thing, because I don't think we dug into it, at least from Nish's perspective or Kudzai's perspective. Who do you think, like, either your ex or your friend owes you more than the other? Let's start with Nish. Or maybe you think none of them owe you, right? Like, what are your thoughts about, like, if they're gonna consider being in a relationship, who owes you more than the other?
For sure, my friend. I mean, I think there's like two categories, right? If I didn't expect anything from this quote unquote friend, it means that this person is not that close to me. It doesn't even matter. It's as good as them as my ex dating someone else. But if it's
Hmm.
someone who's close to me where it would affect me, where I would expect them to owe me at least an explanation.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think my friend definitely owes me more.
I like that. How about you, Kudzai?
I think they both owe me the same thing, but in different ways, from different perspectives.
Oh, tell us, girl, tell us.
So I feel like with my friend, especially if this you've been like my ride or die, then in that case, I'm assuming I've also been hella ride or die for you.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
You then turn around and go and like you, because like the thing is, they know all of the amazing parts of you, that previous relationship you had,
Mm-hmm.
but they also know the really terrible parts.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just one of those things where it's like, you know me, and you know me with this person, and then you just turn around and almost disregard knowing me by choosing to then, it's almost like infiltrating on your space.
Mm-hmm.
And like, yeah, it's like your friend coming around you, they've got COVID and they're choosing not to wear a mask. Like, no, let's
wow.
protect each other. Let's not do that. Okay. We know the right thing to do here. Wear a mask and stay away from me. And so that's almost kind of the same thing with this. You know the right thing to do. Stay away from this person.
Right.
Just at least I know in that case you actually have my back of, and it's not even one of those things where you have to actively take sides, but you are choosing to support me. And
Right.
then in terms of my ex, I kind of feel like I'm at the stage now where in terms of the people I've dated, there's been a very serious vetting process. So I'm looking at you like I think you're a stand-up person. And so
Mm-hmm.
this is one of those things where if you respect me before, during, and after this relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Respecting me also means that the respect doesn't end just because we're not together.
I love
Mm,
that.
But then that just means that this is person who, did they even respect me to begin with?
Oh, man. I mean, those are some solid points. Let's say somebody who's listening to this podcast is considering, dating their friend's ex. What are some considerations or some things they should think of before they embark on this journey? Nish, let's start with you.
if it's a good friend, they would say something and they would try to make the case because they know how much you were hurt by this person. Yet, despite knowing this,
Mm-hmm.
if they still choose to date this person, yeah, I think they would have to explain why and oh, maybe they saw some, yeah.
I like that. Yeah. And I think also in addition to that, something I think that the friend who's thinking of dating their friend's ex should think about is like when you go to tell your friend that you are about to date their ex, you should be prepared that it could go north or it could go south. Like, don't go in with the expectation that your friend is just going to be cool with it because there's a chance also that your friend might not be cool with it, right?
Yeah, I feel like I'm super big on transparency.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't even want to find out from the point where, like, okay, these two are officially going to start dating. I want to hear your thoughts. If we are really good friends, then I
Mm-hmm.
need to hear your thoughts from the word go of, okay, I'm starting to feel things in places I have never felt. Well, listen, I need to know from the word jump so that, like, we're going. And here's the thing, here, I don't know, maybe like you had a dream, turtle doves came from the sky and said that this is your person. I'm Who am I to come in between turtle doves and love?
That
I'm
right.
not going to be a hater. Maybe that's your thing.
Mm-hmm.
Then I need to know from the word go, like not even
Mm-hmm.
from the word go, from the that this is where it's about to go. Before we even
Just
get to the then I need to know where we're going with this. Because I found in situations of transparency, it's not that it makes it easier, but it's helped me sort of come to terms with things in a more like, it's not super drastic.
It prepares you,
It
sort of.
prepares me ever so slightly. And that's not to say
right.
things are easier, but
Mm-hmm.
it's one of those things where it's like, okay, this can now be tolerated. It doesn't feel like just wham bam, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't like things that are super drastic like that. I just feel like that is where it's like, you've known that you've been doing something behind my back and then haven't come to told me about it. I don't know. And I definitely don't want to be that person who's like, oh yeah, don't ever date, your friend's ex or whatever it is, because like I said, we've had situations like this where people have then ended up getting married and like
Right,
they've
right.
always
Mm,
been the perfect fit for each other.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like if you're going to be doing something like that, then there has to be a lot of responsibility and maturity in the way that you handle yourself,
I
especially
love
if
that.
that's a friendship you want to maintain.
I
Mm-hmm.
love that a lot. And I mean, to your point too, right? Like you said, maybe you and the your friend's ex were actually destined to be married to each other. And maybe, I guess, in the long run, it's worth losing this friendship, right? I think also, kind of to Kudzai's point, I guess there are cases where the heart wants what the heart wants, but it's even bigger than just the heart wanting something for 2 years. And it's more of like actually a lifetime, like you people were destined to be together. So this will vary, like, from person to person. I think another thing though is like, okay, once you and your friend's ex are now in a relationship, I think that you, as the friend who's now with your friend's ex, be you have to be like very careful not to say things that you're not supposed to say. So
Mm.
obviously when these two people were in a relationship, your friend may have told you a whole lot of things about what was going on in their relationship. Now that you're in a relationship with this person, just keep I'm about to laugh because I'm thinking of what Will Smith said. Anyway, keep their relationship out of your mouth. You know what I mean? Like don't
Yes.
yeah, don't then be like spilling things that you were told in confidence about this guy to this guy just because you're now with them, right? So I think just still respecting that. And also, even if your friend had told you some really deep secrets about themselves, like don't then go and spill these things to like the ex, because I think in the end, like you still need to respect the relationship you had with your friend as much as you're going to respect the relationship you have with this new person that you're with.
Absolutely. And
Mm-hmm.
just start on your own clean slate if that's the life that the two of you are choosing for yourself. Like,
Yeah.
do you? Let's leave
Yeah.
the other person out of it. Because clearly that's what you two were doing anyway. So
Ooh.
be consistent.
Shade. That's so true. All right, let's pivot now. Let us pivot. So now we want to talk about dating your ex's friend. Okay, so I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
paint a picture. I'm in a relationship with a guy. Me and this guy, we break things off. His homeboy is like, "Girl, I've been checking on you. You fine, mama. Should I date this person?" So let's start with Nish. Is it okay to date your ex's friend?
See, this is a little different because because the question now is, how did I get to know my ex's friend? If
Mm-hmm.
if it's a friend of my ex that I've never met before, I've only seen her in photos that my ex posts, that is a little snaky, right? I feel, because then that means that there's nothing else that drew you to this person besides attraction, which is not
Oh, I
wrong,
see. I see.
right? Which is
Mhm.
not wrong, but it's just kind of messed up. And then you start questioning, is this being done out of spite? You know,
Yeah.
the friend could or the ex, I mean, could start questioning that. And I don't know. I mean, I think a lot of people do a lot of messed up things, but I I I'm at the point in my life where I just don't. I really dislike drama. You know,
Yeah.
so like I'm too old for that. You know, like it's gonna give me more gray hairs than I need. So why even? I don't know. I wouldn't do that.
Okay. Kudzai, let's hear it from you. Is it okay to date your ex's friend?
Here's the thing. I'm looking at these people. Are these people features of the same coin? Is it one of those things? Because I'm like, I know how these people do. They roll deep. So if I'm like, okay, I broke up with my ex and there were qualities in him that I just saw, like, I don't know how I feel about them. I then in that case, all of them in the bin. I I don't know.
Okay, question for you, Kudzai. What if the ex's friend looks like Michael B. Jordan?
Oh,
Oh, okay.
P Square Temptation. That's all I'm gonna sing. That's it.
I this I'm okay. Everyone can come for me on LinkedIn because I don't have a Twitter or anything else. I'm not that person who thinks Michael B. Jordan is cute because he knows
Ooh.
he's cute, and that kind of puts me off. But then I get it in a similar situation. If it was like my Michael B. Jordan, whomever he is, I feel like, you know what? You're nice to look at. And would it make me feel good about myself? Absolutely. And would I want to stick it to my ex? You bet I would. But at the same time, I feel like there would just be that something that stops me from just taking it over the edge. And I really feel like it would be one of those, Kudzai, if the shoe was on the other foot,
Mm-hmm.
how would
Mm.
you feel? And I think about that so often because there was a situation where there was a friend of mine whose ex, him and I got along super well. We
Mm.
vibed. And I felt like there was definitely a point where something was absolutely going to happen. And like, just before things happened, I found myself being like, no, if the shoe was on the other foot, you would be big mad right now. And that was
Man.
one of the things that I then took a step back and like, obviously in hindsight, I'm like, that was the absolute right decision to make. But at the
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
time, I was absolutely kicking myself because like, I definitely feel like him and I could have worked.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, at that point in time, that friendship was more important to me. Now it's funny because in hindsight, too, her and I are not friends anymore. And
Game time.
Oh, now it's okay, huh?
now I kind
Put
of feel
me
like,
in, coach. Put me in, coach.
yeah, I'm ready to debut. Yes, but like, I still kind of think that that decision I made at the time made the most sense. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
very happy that I did that.
I love what you said, Kudzai, right? Because it's like it's almost as if now we've switched from like the first part of the episode to like the second part, and you're saying if I wouldn't want this to happen to me from my ex's side, then I wouldn't want to do that to my ex. Which I mean, I have mad respect for that, and I agree. It's good to think about things from that perspective of if this was being done to me, how would I feel? Now, I guess this part, maybe I'm playing devil's advocate, right? Because if someone was to ask me, like, is it okay to date your ex's friend? I was going to go with it's up in the air, to be honest, right? Because it
Mhm.
also depends on how things ended with your ex. Say,
Yeah.
like, your ex did you so dirty, man. Like, this boy was out here cheating left, right, and center. There's no nation that he did not cheat with, right? Now he breaks up with you. The relationship has come to an end. And then his friend is like, yo, shorty, what's up? What's good, ma? I mean, listen, this is why I say, hey, this is the gray lines of life. You know what I mean? So I think in that case, it really depends. It might depend on like how things ended. But personally, for me, when I ask myself, like, would I date my ex's friend? The answer is no, like, absolutely not. There wouldn't be a situation where, like, and this is again assuming that this friend of my ex that I'm talking about, I only met that person through my ex. I wasn't friends with this person before that, right? So
Uh-huh.
having painted that picture, there is absolutely no way that I would have formed a relationship with that person to that extent. So here's
Mhm.
the thing: when I'm in a relationship, and like I'm a very transparent person. If I'm in a relationship, and let's say like not my ex, I guess at the time he'll be my boyfriend. My boyfriend's friend messages me. It could be like, oh, hey, like I saw this book and I thought you might like it. Maybe you should buy it. I am one who's very transparent with my boyfriend. I'll be like, hey, just so you know, like your friend just messaged. Not because I'm saying like, oh, he's checking on me. No, but I am one who does not like to hide things, right? I never want like the boyfriend I'm with to somehow, let's say one day my phone is here and then like a message flips. I mean, my phone lights up and it's a message from his friend. And then my boyfriend is now like, oh, are these people like talking all the time? So I'm very transparent. I'll be like, oh yeah, just your friend messaged me telling me about this book, blah, 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 and just tell them how the conversation went. So having said that, any boyfriend that I've been with, I have never being friends with their friends to the extent where I'm even having conversations that could lead to this man professing his love to me, right? So I would never date my ex's friend because there is no way that I would even create an environment like that where my friends, my ex's friend would have even the audacity to like ask me out. It's just not how I roll. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that. I don't know. This could be a little bit of an unpopular opinion, but I don't necessarily feel like it's supposed to be one of those things where, like, say this person before they became an ex, but then like all their friends and all their guy friends, you need to be just as close. Yeah, I've never been like, we need to be all super, super close and we're besties and we're, making each other friendship bracelets at night. No, I kind of just feel like let it be one of those things where we're all super cordial when we're all together and we
Yeah.
can all hang out together and have such good fun and we can all have mutual friends. But at the end of the day, like, let it not be twisted. You and I, we're here for each other, okay? More
Yes,
than
yes.
first and foremost. And so because of that, this is where the whole idea of even that would just be very interesting to me, because I always feel like I try to sort of put myself in those situations where my partner's friends and I, like, we're good, but we're not good like that.
Yeah, well, like we're
Yeah.
not good. We're like I'm the person who comes to your mind when you're coming from the club at 2 a.m. and you're
No, what are
calling
you
me talking
giving
about
me Amazon
how you
book
doing, girl.
recommendation? No.
Yeah,
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 that's
yeah,
messed up.
exactly. So I mean, I just would not create that environment. And and same goes not even just like with my, I guess at the time he would be my boyfriend, not with my boyfriend's not just with my boyfriend's friends, but also with my friends' boyfriends, right? Like I literally only message my friends' boyfriends on a need basis. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So for
you're planning a
example, like
surprise party for your
yes,
friend.
exactly. You know what? You nailed it. Exactly. So I also just don't have like blurred lines where I'm out here calling my friends' boyfriends for no reason, or, calling my boyfriend's friends for no reason. I just think that, yeah, like those are very slippery slopes that we should not be trying to climb. And me, myself, I'm not a hiker, Sha, so you won't see me climbing a mountain like that. So,
That's
yeah.
right, yeah.
Man, okay, well, what if in this case someone wants to date? So I want to date my ex's friend. Should I tell my ex that I want to date his friend? Or is all the honors on his friend to tell him?
Ooh.
I think if that person is your ex, you don't owe them anything. So I don't think you need to tell your ex.
Just be moving mad in
Because
silence.
yeah, and I think
Wow.
I think so, because you don't owe your ex anything. But what's even more interesting is if the person you start dating, their friend, if they don't tell your ex, if they don't tell your ex, and you know that they haven't mentioned anything, I think that's a really big red flag. Because
Really?
like,
Well, what does it say
yeah,
about him, about the guy?
right. So like, for example, if I start dating my ex's friend,
Mm-hmm.
and I get to know, one day after a couple of dates or whatever, we're talking and I'm like, hey, did you ever mention anything to the ex? And they're like, oh no, I didn't. I'm just, I figured, why bother? Oh no, that's a red flag for me, because I'm like, what else are you hiding from your
Yeah,
own friends? I
yeah.
think that talks about someone's character.
Nish is like, listen, I would not be an underground boyfriend. Let your friend know
Yeah,
that I am in the picture.
I am not a
yeah,
substitute lover. Okay.
right, exactly.
Kudzai, what's your take on that one?
I feel like you have to tell your ex.
Mm.
Really?
I am I'm a very strong proponent of this. I've done this in all of my previous relationships. Even when I've moved on with someone who my ex does not know, I've been the first one to just tell them, hey, because especially if I know how, oh my gosh, especially when I used to be on Instagram, I wanted everyone to know that we went on that hike and we had fun and we were hugging and doing things. Like, let
Yeah.
me tell you especially because, like, hey, the thing is, when you're super happy, guess what? You want everyone to know of your happiness. So I kind of always just feel like, out of respect, I'd be like, hey, by the way, this is what's happening. I wanted you to know first before anyone else knows. And just to make sure, like, if you want to have a discussion about it, maybe I may not be the person to discuss it with, but I just thought I'd let you know. So I feel like I've always been the kind of person, I don't care how amicable or not amicable it was. I expect you to tell me, and I will
Mm-hmm.
absolutely tell you. And it's
Mm.
definitely not mutual, because I've had exes who've done this and they've been like, I never thought of telling you. And I've been like, excuse me.
Yeah,
but
it's
but what
an
if
interesting take, because for me, I I mean, let's say for example, how this relationship ended with this ex was, it was one of those, don't ever speak to me ever again, right? Then I
mm,
start dating their ex. Why am I out here giving you giving you newspapers of what's going on in my life if you said you didn't want to ever hear back from me? So I feel like in that case, I mean, there's nothing to say. And actually, because the case where you said when you've moved on with someone who your ex doesn't even know, oh, listen, that one I definitely do not ever say. Like, it's none of their business. Like, it's just my business. But also, maybe it's because like with my exes, I'm not connected to them on like, say, Instagram or whatever, where they would see me post. And also I guess I'm a private person in the sense that if I'm in a relationship, people would actually not know because I wouldn't post people on my Instagram anyway. So,
Yeah.
so they would never really find out. Or if they did find out, it's, like we're moving on. Right now, I don't know who my exes are with, so it's just like, that's just how life is. Nish, sorry, I think you're going to say something.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say, I guess it's kind of different if you are still in contact. If let's say you're amicable with your ex and you're still friends to some extent, then I think yeah, you should say something. But if you haven't spoken to them for like 3 years, and then randomly you start, dating their friend, and you're like, hey, by the way, I know we haven't spoken. It could almost backfire. It could seem like, oh, you haven't spoken to me for 3 years, and the first thing you say is this. I don't know.
Yeah. Kudzai with the sticky situation. But like, girl, so you would actually go and say, hey, I've moved on in my life. This is the picture. Now, here's the thing. Okay.
No, okay. Oh my gosh. I'm not giving you a photo album. I'm not giving you. This is not an iOS press release. No.
I think, Kudzai, I would say something to my ex if like, how like a breakup happens and then let's say at some point you're now like, say for people who become really good friends with their exes, right? And let's say the conversations that you and your ex have, they're still kind of, along the flirty borders. Like there's still some I loves you. Oh, I miss how you used to smile like this. I used to blah, blah, blah. Then if I'm now in a relationship with someone, I would have to tell my ex and be like, hey, I'm now in a relationship, so we can't be having these type of conversations. That's the one time that I can think of right now, guys. Unless if another sticky situation happens in real life, I will disclose. But that's one situation where if my ex and I have inappropriate conversations and I'm now with somebody else, I would tell them so that they can, give me that space.
I guess, okay. So in my past, I've dated someone who my ex knew. I would say knew well enough to know, not just know of them, but to know them.
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't say that they were look at me trying to justify. They were not friends. They were not friends. No, I honestly wouldn't say they were friends. I would say they were friendly. And so when I started dating my other ex, I did tell especially since it was kind of, I would say there was a good amount of time, but others may say not so much. And so that was one of those things I absolutely let them know. I felt like they deserved it. They, in hindsight, were like, I felt like it was really respectful that you came to tell me, and I appreciated you doing that.
Oh, wow.
And so, especially after that happened, I realized sometimes it's not just what you say, but how you say it. Because I think there's a way of being, like, if you're like, hey, by the way, I moved on, bye. Like, okay, what are you trying to get out of this too? But I kind of felt like there was one of those things where even if the relationship didn't work, and it was very much because I felt that you were the problem, I still feel like at the end of the day, I did choose to date you. So that must reflect on me in some way, shape, or form. And so out of that, I feel like there's just a need to be respectful. But I also kind of feel like I'm the kind of person who has been somewhat amicable with all of my exes to varying degrees. And so because of that, I then feel like there's just need for transparency.
Wow, I love that. Man, guys, this conversation was so fun. Like literally, like I think we could go on for like 6 hours just talking about this because it's so funny when you start throwing out like scenarios and situations. It's just like, man, I guess it's not black and white, So I want to thank you, Nish, and I want to thank you, Kudzai. This was so fun. You guys are so wise and so funny to talk to and so fun to talk to. So definitely appreciate you guys coming here.
Thanks for having us. It was so fun.
Oh, yay. Thanks for coming.
I agree. This was great. And we fully expect to be back in the next 5 to 8 business weeks.
Woo! Yes. Yes, you will.
Bring on the next topic, girl.
Yes, you will. Well, thank you so much to you too. You guys were really fun to talk to. And I'm pretty sure people had a good time listening to you. So yeah, thanks everyone for listening. Peace. Ndiwe wandiro ya moyo wangu. Ndiwe wandikanga
neza fungo zangu